Today, we will guide you through various SAP process automation capabilities and pre-built content that can help you in accelerating your journey towards digitally automating and extending your finance-related business processes. Process automations are a critical part of the finance industry as they play a very important role in an overall intelligent enterprise vision. SAP Process Automation is a solution on SAP Business Technology Platform, which contains different capabilities that help you build workflows, automate decisions, automate repetitive manual tasks, and seamlessly integrate with applications to get end-to-end visibility into your processes. The aim is to give you a holistic set of capabilities to help you improve the overall experience with business process orchestration, automation, extension, and optimization. These are different process automation capabilities. The first capability is Process, which provides a no-code tool to automate your processes. You can model and manage the workflows from a newly designed process builder for a more intuitive and enhanced process building experience. Next, we have Form, which helps you design and configure your user interfaces with a simple drag-and-drop approach using available layout and field options. You can add forms for requests or for approvals in your processes. These forms generate tasks that are available in the My Inbox application of the users who are responsible for taking action. We also have a business rules capability to help you manage all your decisions. You can manage and model your rules using an integrated business rule editor without the need to make any kind of data transformation while embedding them in your processes. SAP Process Automation comes with embedded RPA capabilities as well to automate repetitive tasks by using RPA bots. Users can automate data transfers across systems or can extract data from different sources where APIs are not available. Finally, another major capability we offer is out-of-the-box end-to-end visibility into your processes and any other processes beyond SAP Process Automation, including Qualtrics surveys. All of this is combined with the unified Launchpad and Task Center for business user access. These capabilities together enable automating process and decisions using the One Lobby experience, which provides an integrated experience with one lifecycle of different artifacts such as decisions, forms, visibility scenarios, and automation. Because the tools are part of the same framework, we eliminate the silos between citizen developers and professional or technical developers. This one-product experience brings a much-needed advancement on how SAP builds and manages processes and can help our customer adapt, improve, and innovate processes at a much faster pace. All of this is complemented with pre-built content packages. One of the most important and differentiating aspects of SAP Process Automation is its rich content library, which contains pre-built, industry-based, ready-to-consume packages, which can include RPA bots, workflow, forms, business rules, and pre-built integration models, and which connect to external systems such as SAP S/4HANA and other SAP lines of business. We have some 350-plus bots and 90-plus workflow content packages that you can explore via the SAP API Business Hub or the RPA Bot Store. SAP Process Automation offers embedded AI and machine learning capabilities for document processing and intelligent extraction, and soon we will provide recommendations about tasks and processes and confidence levels during decision-making activities in the workflow. All this and more without the need to have any kind of data science experience. Let us see how you can leverage an SAP Process Automation content package to improve the automation of fixed asset transfer approvals in SAP S/4HANA. This package targets approvals of assets during any intra or intercompany transfers. The transfer of assets might be carried out for many purposes: survival, acquisitions, reconstruction of the business, or when employees are moving across organizations. These assets are usually high-value items and need a mandatory approval before they are posted in the back-end system so that there are no irregularities. To track this transaction, an asset accountant will select the asset from the back-end system for asset transfer. A workflow will be triggered for each such transfer, and the number range from 1 to 1,000 or more depending upon the size of the customer business. Approvers will be determined using business rules based on many factors, such as cost center, the size of the asset class, and so on. The respective cost center owners and finance managers determined by the business rules will then review and approve the asset transfer. After the approvals, the disposal, scrapping, unplanned depreciation, and impairment transactions of the assets will automatically be posted in the background to the backend SAP S/4HANA system. Now, let us watch the demo about fixed asset transfer approval. To transfer a fixed asset from one system to another, you have to open a Start form, where you can choose the asset transfer type, which can be either an intracompany or an intercompany transfer. In this demo, we will see how transfers are automated for intracompany transfers. Once you have defined the details of the transfer, select whether you want to transfer the existing asset or want to create a new asset. In this case, we will create a new asset, which means it will create a completely new asset from an older asset. So, select the New Asset option and then define the old asset number from which a new asset will be created. This information is fetched from the backend SAP S/4HANA system. Now, there will be different kinds of fields to be filled depending on whether you choose an existing asset or a new asset. In this case, we fill all the remaining details from the selected asset number. We provide a description. We also assign an asset class to indicate what kind of transfer it is and define the target cost center to which this asset is being transferred. This cost center information will also be used to retrieve the approvers of the asset transfer. The data entered in this form is checked against all the open workflow instances to avoid any kind of conflict. If there are no existing workflows for this asset, then our new workflow will be triggered and the user will be notified. Now, let us go into the backend SAP S/4HANA system and check the details of asset number 163 to see what the different net values and other such fields of the asset are. So, here you can see the APC transaction details and the acquisition values, and scrolling down, you can also see the net book value. As we are transferring this asset and creating a new asset from an old asset, all of these values will be transferred to the new asset. The approval tasks are available in the My Inbox of the approvers. There will be two basic levels of approvers. The first level approver will be a cost center owner, and the second level approver will be the finance manager. Now, we are in the My Inbox of an approver who has been determined by the business rules based on the company code and asset class. If you refresh the inbox, you will see that a first task has come up for approval by the Sender Cost Center approver. Since the sending cost center owner has to approve before the asset is transferred from one asset number to another, the approver can see the details of the asset that is being transferred. If the sender cost center owner is satisfied, they can give a reason for approving and then approve the asset. After the approval, the proposed transfer will go to Receiver Cost Center Owner for approval. So again, we will refresh the inbox to see the new request. Receiver Cost Center Owner can again go and check different asset transaction data. If the Receiver Cost Center Owner is satisfied, they can approve the transfer. At each stage of this approval process, an email is sent to the relevant recipients, informing them about the approval. So, here an email has reached the inbox of the Receiver Cost Center with the information that an asset with these details is being transferred to their cost center. Here again, the Receiver Cost Center owner can either approve it or send it for reworking. If the workflow is sent for reworking, that task is reassigned to the requester. And the requester can restart the workflow based on the comments from the approver. In the case of our demo example, we will approve the request. Once the Receiver Cost Center owner approves it, the Receiver Finance Manager performs a third level of approval, which is the last step of the approval cycle. If you refresh the inbox, you will see that there is a third task which has reached the inbox of the Finance Manager for the company code that we entered when initiating the transfer. The Finance Manager can review the request, look into different asset transaction data, and can approve the transfer or send it for reworking. Let's submit and complete the approval process, which we have extended using SAP Process Automation. Let us now go back into SAP S/4HANA and see the status of the existing asset and also of the new asset created through the posting operations. First, we will look at the old asset. You can see that the last entry of the transaction informs us that this asset has been retired and has also been transferred to another asset along with a given amount and the depreciation value. Again, an email will be triggered for the final status update of the asset, which will inform the asset accountant who started the transfer process that the asset has been successfully transferred from an old asset to a new asset with a different ID altogether. Here you can see the other details of the same asset. For example, you see that the old asset value was 163, which is part of the description, and it has been moved from one general ledger account to another general ledger account, and the new asset number is 166. Notice that there is also an asset value date, which is the time when the old asset was depreciated or transferred. In the new asset, the capitalized value is transferred from the old asset to the new asset, with acquisition and production costs being the same as the transferred value. You also see the transaction date, which is exactly the same as when the old asset was depreciated and the new asset was created. So, this is a new acquisition date, and the depreciation is also posted from the source asset to the target asset. You saw how an asset accountant started a request by using a start form in the workflow. A workflow is triggered for various levels of approvals from the source cost center owner and then from the target cost center owner and the finance manager. Once the approvals were done, the request and the final information were posted back into SAP S/4HANA, where an old asset was retired, and then the entire capitalized value plus the depreciation amount was posted to the new asset. Let us now look at how these different artifacts of the pre-built content were built. We are in SAP Process Automation Application Development, where you see 4 tabs on the top: Lobby, Store, Monitor, and Settings. The landing page for any kind of project development is the lobby where you can develop, create, and manage the projects for your business process. From the lobby, you can create a process, you can create a form, you can create automations, and so on. We also have a store where you can explore different RPA bot-based pre-built content as well as workflow-based pre-built content packages. So let's go into the fixed asset pre-built content package that we used in the demo. If you click on any of the content packages, you are taken to a detail page where you can see the description and different documents of the package. Just as for workflow-based packages, you will see an end-user guide, configuration, and a setup guide to help you understand what the package is all about and how to set up the content in your environment. You will also see which artifacts are bundled with this content package, which may be the process, business rules, and visibility dashboards. You can import the package using the button in the top right corner. As the content is already imported, the button says Open. But if it's a new package, the button will say Add, and you can import the content. Once the content is imported, you can see the content in the lobby. Here, the fixed asset transfer approval content has been imported from the store and set up in this environment. To see more, you can click on the project and it will take you to an overview page about the project. This particular content package has a process. It has decisions and a visibility scenario, with some user interfaces bundled with it. Once you have set up the content, you can use it as is, or extend it based on your requirements. Let's go into the process and see what it offers. Here is the fixed asset transfer approval process where you see the different steps of the process, including the sender cost center owner approval and the finance manager approval steps. After the sender company approves it, then the receiver cost center and the receiver finance manager have to approve it. Once these approvals are finished, then the posting will finally happen in the back-end SAP S/4HANA system where the new asset will be created or an existing asset will be updated. If you navigate to the decisions, you can see the details of individual decisions that are bundled with this content package. For example, here's a decision diagram that gives you an overview with details about the input and output of the business rule, along with the different rules that are associated with the package. Let's look into one particular Determine Approvers rule. You can see what default conditions are provided with this rule. So here is a decision table-based business rule which determine the approvers based on the company code, asset class, and approval step. If you want to edit the decisions with more rule conditions based on your company's requirements, you can. And you can also export the rule in an Excel sheet, make changes, import the Excel-based changes, and just save the decision table. We also have a pre-built process visibility dashboards bundled with this content package. And here, you will see that a fixed asset transfer process is already being added to this visibility scenario. It will have multiple other configuration options that you can change based on your requirements. So what we provide is the default dashboard configurations, but you can definitely change it. For example, you can add other KPIs for tracking asset transfers, just like asset transfers categorized by the type of assets, which could be a new asset from an existing asset or an update to an existing asset. The source code for the user interfaces and the workflows are available in case you want to make changes to the process. All you have to do is import the source code into Business Application Studio, configure it, and extend it based on your requirements, and then deploy them to SAP Process Automation. So you saw that SAP Process Automation now has a new enhanced user experience where you can create new process using a completely new workbench with integrated RPA bots, business rules, and process visibility in one single lobby. You can also import content from the store that can give you needed acceleration to your project development. We have a few more finance use cases in our content library that you can use as per your requirements. The needed end user guide, use case guide, and setup guide are part of this content and can help you understand the use case and set up the content in your environment. In summary, start your journey with SAP Process Automation and industry-based pre-packaged content for automation and extension needs. Here are 3 key takeaways. The first one is that you can automate faster with an integrated tool experience. We have a new user experience which gives you a faster way to build your processes, your decisions, and your automations. Second, you get the needed simplicity for building and deploying processes, forms, and automations in one product experience. The new no-code tool with visual drag-and-drop options elevates the entire user experience, giving more power to business users and further accelerating automation with industry-specific pre-packaged content. Third, as you operate on SAP Business Technology Platform, you get enterprise-grade multi-cloud centralized governance, testing, and monitoring capabilities, and you can confidently rely on our trusted platform with its high level of compliance, service-level agreements or SLAs, and privacy regulations. Feel free to contact us if you have any questions.